Hello, class. I would like to provide to you a video on using the Learning Resource Center that is provided to you by UoPeople. This will just be an overview, and I'll do separate videos on some of the components that I think are especially beneficial to you as a student. So first thing I'm going to do is show you how to get there. I'm going to get rid of my left navigation. I'm going to go to Resources and just hover. Notice I can go to the library, to orientation videos that help you understand how to use Moodle itself and get around in the UoPeople system. And then LRC, which is Learning Resource Center. The OSWC is the Writing Center and Peer Assessment Office. Those are actually two components of the LRC. So you can just go to the LRC if you want writing assistance or peer assessment office. And then syllabus repository can help you look out at future classes that, future classes that you want to take. And then honors lists, look for yourself there after this term, maybe, right? So we're going to go to the LRC, which again is Learning Resource Center. And it's provided to you, again, free of charge, just to kind of help you develop your skills. Now that you are in a graduate program, what you did in your bachelor's is not going to suffice. There's not a lot of writing involved in teacher education for undergraduate because it's all about methods and strategies. So now that you're in a graduate program, it's all about research and writing. So I hope you will make use of the Learning Resource Center. The first thing you're going to do is see the enroll option. You don't have to enroll to use a lot of these resources, but if you do enroll, you have access to 100% of the resources. So I highly recommend you do that. It doesn't cost anything. You don't get spam email. It just opens up all the tools that are available. So in the announcement forum, those are announcements from the university, for example, undergraduate final exam period, last day of term. So that's a good place for you to go to make sure you're not missing out on information that could cause you problems in the future. Ask the Experts is for you as a student to post a question, whether that's just kind of a general question, so maybe about APA formatting, which we'll talk about, or how something works. It's not designed for a question on the course content. That question should come to me. If you'll notice, when there are unread posts, it lets you know. So what this tells you is I have read all the announcements, but I have 21 posts that I need to read. The reason it's good for you as a student to read these posts is people may be asking questions that you haven't thought of yet because you haven't run into an issue. So it's a really good idea to just check on this site every day and just see what people are asking, and then of course post your own question if you decide to enroll. We're going to talk about the peer assessment office briefly. I will do a separate video on that, but the peer assessment office is here to help you understand why UoPeople has you peer assess most of your assignments. So this is how to assess fairly in a meaningful way. And then what happens if somebody assesses you and you don't like what they did? So this peer assessment office can answer your questions. There are exemplars, so to help you write good assessments. So check into that. Again, I will do a separate video, but just know that Peer Assessment Office is here for you to start using. Academic writing, like I said, in teacher education, you don't do a lot of writing. So academic writing portal will help you with strategies, how to research, how to structure your papers. So I highly recommend you visit this. Your informal writing is not going to suffice for a graduate program. So please visit that so that you can get direct instruction in how to write an academic paper. Research and analysis. Again, as an undergraduate, you didn't do a lot of research unless you were maybe looking for lessons that you could use, or maybe a book that you wanted to read. But here you're going to research on, in our class, philosophy, educational philosophy, what are the sociological functions of education? What is the historical context of education? So a lot of research. And then when you do that research, you have to analyze it. You have to interpret it for yourself and then for the reader. Academic honesty isn't just referring to plagiarism, which we will talk a lot about plagiarism, but also APA style, which is the formatting mechanics that you will be using to write all your papers. And it's required to use APA formatting, and if you don't, it will bring down the grade on your assignments. English language resources. If English is not your first language, but maybe if it is, I, again, highly recommend you visit this site. You might think that you speak English very well, and you might, but speaking English and writing in English is completely different. So, or somewhat different. So visit this site. Again, even if you're an English speaker, because chances are you've been out of school for a while, at least learning grammar and rules. So I suggest you visit it just to refresh your memory. Technology, this is just what it says, the technology used at UoPeople. Sustainability, this is a kind of a new section to help you understand your personal carbon footprint and how UoPeople is helping to reduce our impact on the planet. And then information literacy. This will help with your critical thinking when you read something. Does it make sense? How does it apply to your own experiences? So information literacy, you have to evaluate what you're reading, and this site will help you do that. Okay, so that is a fast, short overview. Again, I'm going to make individual videos over some of these components, but suffice it to say that this is a very, very good resource. I wish I had had something like this in my doctoral studies, way back in my master's. I was pretty fresh out of school, so I didn't need that much, refreshment. But if you have been out of school for, and I'm talking high school, for very long, you probably haven't talked about any of these things. Again, in undergrad teacher education, there's not a lot of academic writing. There's not a lot of research. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful to you. And this does not preclude me sitting down with you one-on-one over Teams to go over this if you'd like to do that. This is just to help you get started using the LRC.